Hello everyone and welcome to the WorldCupNow.com's coverage of the Barclays Fantasy Premier League. These are your tips for October 4th. It is a Thursday night, as always. Sean McConnell here, giving you some tips. We're going to get right into the thick of things and let's get into some good tips. So here we go. Okay, so for this week's winnable fixtures for the Fantasy Premier League, game week 7, I'm going to first start off with Manchester City versus Sunderland. This is the first game of the week. It's one of the early ones, and teams that are a little tired tend to stay a little tired. And I have a feeling that with Sergio Aguero and David Silva returning into the lineup, performing well, becoming a little bit more match fit, they're obviously going to offer some good returns since they are playing at home. As always, I always favor the home side team. So I have a feeling that that in combination with the fact that Sunderland has been on a very good run. They are unbeaten, but I have a feeling that game week 7 is not going to be so lucky for them. I hope that for managers that have Stephen Fletcher, he does, continue his 100% scoring run. But I have a feeling that it's just going to be too much of a challenge. It's a home game for City. They always play well, and you got two of your best guys back in the lineup, raring to go. So I have a feeling that that'll probably be a really hard one for Sunderland to win, and I have a feeling that Man City's probably going to take this one. So I'm going to go for Man City this week, game week 7, on my first winnable fixture. Next up, the second fixture is for managers who are looking to make trades or going to be using their wild card. I'm leaning to actually using my wild card this week. The second fixture is going to be between Chelsea and Norwich. I have a feeling that, with Norwich really getting beaten up pretty bad last week by Liverpool, they're going to be a little unconfident, a little gun shy, maybe even a little impatient, if you will. And also the absence of Seb Bassong is also going to hurt them because it's, it was a good player. Now, the bright side to this, if you do have John Ruddy in net for Norwich, he's probably going to get a lot of work. So he's probably going to get a lot of shots on. So you probably might be able to recoup some points there. But I would shy away from owning anybody on the actual Norwich side. I would be more inclined to lean towards Chelsea. You've got those big three: Hazard, Ivanovic, Torres. All very good, all very good picks. I think for game week 7, this will be the second winning fixture. So if you have some Chelsea exposure, great. If you do not, consider it. And also, if you don't have any City exposure, consider getting some City exposure for game week 7 as well. So I'll go on to the next segment, but okay, I'm going to try and keep it at 1 minute per player. So the first player that I have on my pick list is Gaston Ramirez, playing for Southampton, came over from Bologna, but I prefer to say Bologna, and has had a very respectable start, to say the least. He's had an assist in the 4-1 win against Aston Villa, and then also had a goal last week against Everton. So he is getting some good, fixture play time. He's got 2 full 90s, and he's also being positioned in the hole behind Lambert. So it's a good position for him, and it's going to offer him some really good opportunities to score, get you guys some points. Valued at 6, just 6 even as of right now, as kind of a mid-priced even defender. But for someone who's getting the opportunities that's going to get you a goal and assist, it is someone that you do want to take a look at. So that is my first pick for this week's players to watch list. Now, for my second player, if you've noticed, the players that I've been picking in my players to watch list that week, they actually perform very well. They either score, they get an assist. So I'm trying to cheat a little bit. I do apologize. And these two players coming up are actually on my team. I'm going to start with Moussa Dembele, a recent acquisition to the Spurs from Fulham, and I think this is an excellent opportunity, valued at 6.2. He has great speed, and last week he actually got an assist against Man United, and he scored against Norwich in their third game week. You can count on him to at least get 60 minutes. He has been playing full 90s, but last week he only did play the 82 minutes. So, that is a little bit worrisome to say, but not really. He's got a home-and-home fixture coming up, which I like. First against Aston Villa, next against Chelsea, and then they are away to Southampton. Now, I like the way Tottenham or the Spurs, I like the way they're starting to come together as a team. You can see that they've kind of got rid of that whole notion of, Van der Vaart, Modric. You can tell they're kind of advancing or leaving that behind them, and they're moving forward and gelling together as a good team. And this is a good, team to have. You're going to get points. They are a top table team. They are sitting right now just behind, both Man United teams at 11 points. So another good choice for you guys for this game week. Lastly, now for my third player, this is kind of like a dark horse or a lone star, and this is kind of why I picked him. You may have heard of him, you may not. I may even butcher the name like I always do in traditional fashion. His name's Jobi McAnuff, and I do apologize if that's wrong, but I'm not going to call him McAnuff. So he's on my radar. I picked him up, but after his performance last week against Newcastle, I was watching that game and I was pretty impressed with him. He did get 2 assists, so that's why I've got him on my team this week, and I'm hoping that against the kind of ailing Swansea team, he is going to be able to perform a little bit better. He is getting full 90s, since the start. He tends to perform better against top flight teams. Newcastle got 2 points. Chelsea got an assist. So kind of going to be a clutch player, but he's also a really good value too at 5.1. And also, like I said, he's kind of a dark horse because he's very, very little people own this player. So Jobi is a good pick, kind of a dark horse. If you're looking for some Reading exposure, maybe in the midfield, and maybe you've got Lambert or someone else, and you kind of want to complement that, or you want just some Reading exposure, this would be a good, cheap alternative. You can use him as a bench player, and that would be a good option for you to either have him on the bench or have him playing. You're going to get at least 2, so again, a good option. And those are my 3 picks for players to watch. And there you go. There's some great tips for you this week for game week 7. Got some winnable fixtures with City, so get some exposure on them. And 3 guys that you might not have really thought about getting for either this week or, at all. But just want to get you some different looks. As always, stop by the website at theworldcupnow.com. I always appreciate your visits and your comments, and also feel free to like our page on Facebook as always, and I will link to both of those in the post. And as always, best of luck, managers, and I'll see you next Thursday. Good night.